Hi, I'm Damien Phillips from POC, Head of PR and Communication, and now I'd like to introduce to you the Cornea solar switch. And the solar switch is unique and a world first in goggle technology, primarily because it is a lens that can switch from a category 2 to a category 3 and back and forth all day long, automatically and instantly, powered only by the sun.
So what's the difference between a category 2 and a category 3 lens?
So a category 2 and a category 3 lens is like the mixed conditions that most people, when they're out skiing, will encounter. Just to put it into perspective, maybe a category 0 is like a clear lens, when it's a complete whiteout or maybe a kind of a yellow filter on that or something similar. And then a category 4 is when you've got a really deep black lens, which is to filter out all the super sunlight of a big bluebird day. But most of us are always in mixed conditions, and that's when you want a category 2 or a category 3 when you've got clouds or slight differences in the sunlight conditions.
So where did this project start? How did you guys come up with this innovation?
I mean, ultimately it comes down to safety, because safety is one of the principal part of what we're doing in most of our product and new developments in POC. And of course, when you're in a position where you're going down a mountain at speed and you're transitioning in and out of cloud or in and out of wooded areas, what happens very often is you're not going to see the ground as you'd like to see it. And at that point you'd like to have a different lens. But of course you can't stop, and you can't take a new lens out of your backpack and put it on your goggles, so you need something that's going to adjust automatically. Photochromatic lenses, they exist, but they're too slow. So we wanted to make something that actually worked for people like that, in a click of an eye, that people would understand immediately that they were changing from 2 to 3 or 3 to 2 back and forth all day long, because that's what happens in reality on the mountain.
Can the lens change halfway, like one side of it, or?
No, actually, so what you've got is a solar panel on the top of the lens, and that solar panel detects the intensity of light, and then when it detects enough intensity, it's a category 3, and when that intensity goes down, it opens up more to a category 2. And it can do that because the lens itself is an LCD lens, so it's a liquid crystal lens. So you have like an open-closed version of the lens, so it's opening and closing. It's not fading in or fading out, it's open-closed, so you can always get that change immediately and automatically. It can be automatic because the actual solar panel is also powering the change. So there's no batteries, there's no switches, there's no recharging, there's nothing. It's just 2 lenses in one goggle.
So who came up with the innovation? It sounds quite hard.
Yeah, it is. It is a really hard piece of kit to have developed. It's taken us several years of innovation actually to sort of get it to where we want it to be. We have a lab in POC called POC Aid, and they look at all about innovation and technology, and that's where the idea started and came from.
So what frame did you use to put this on? Is it a new one or is it a pre-existing one?
So this is the Cornea frame, and it actually is an existing frame. And the reason why we've used this existing frame is because we wanted to have the placement of the solar panel within it, and it was the best frame for us to put the 2 together.
Are you looking to expanding this technology to maybe cover categories 1 to 3 or something like that?
Well, actually, that's an really interesting question, because of course we did discuss all of the ranges, how far between VLTs or categories we wanted to go. But actually, if you go too far away, the change is too much. So you actually want to give the right amount of change, so it happens without you noticing it, but it's also not too distracting. Because if you were in a situation where you were flicking between a category 0 to a category 4, for example, that would just be too much change going on. So you need it to be a very smooth transition, something that you don't even notice is happening.
Is this the future of vision technology on the mountain?
I think it is, actually. I think this is we're extremely happy to present this, because this has never happened before. Nobody's ever been able to do this in a goggle in the kind of snowboarding, skiing perspective. So to be able to sort of do this is a first step, and now we can take it even further. But definitely, this is where the future is.
So do you have the Oakley guys coming here taking notes?
I haven't seen anybody yet, but maybe.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, cheers.